Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. I was just about to sleep when I thought, you know what? Let me just make this story time for you guys. And yeah, here we go. So, a week or two, I think it was about 2 weeks back, I decided to visit my sister, who's in the northwest. I haven't been, moving around for some time now. I've just been at my place. The only time I've really been moving around and traveling, sort of like a long distance trip, is when I go home, in the Eastern Cape. And then, other than that, like that was my first since last year. So it's been a while since I've had to like travel for a long distance trip, whatever. But all good, all cool. So for the short distances, going to work and the mall and whatever, I need to go to. I normally use Bolt or Uber, whatever. So cool. But then for this one, because it's quite far, it's a long distance. I had to now um, go catch a taxi. Which is not an everyday thing, especially in such a busy town, Pretoria. So I had to go catch a taxi in Pretoria, but fortunately, I have a friend of mine who volunteered to take me to the taxi rank where I would get the taxis that go to the northwest, where I was going. So cool. He he picks me up and drops me off at the taxi rank, and then yeah, immediately we ask, so where are the taxis that go to this place? What's that? I forget the name of that place, but yeah. But we're shown around, so they give us the taxi. There's a few people already in there, so I think maybe 6 or 7 people were left for the taxi to be full. So yeah. And then everybody is registering their names down. You know how long distance trips are always like. You have to, give your details, your emergency contacts, and whatever. So we do that, all good. Now I give my bag to this other woman, like a grown lady who I was gonna sit next to. So I just asked her to please take care of my bag, as I wanted to go to um, the nearest bathroom, which happened to be at the mall, because that taxi rank is like close to a mall in Pretoria. I don't remember the name of the mall, but yeah, because that was like my very first time there, I think. But I think the taxi rank is Bossman, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we okay. So the lady takes care of my thing, agrees to take care of my things, and then I go to the mall looking for a bathroom, of course. And then as I walk, this gentleman walks next to me, and he starts greeting. I'm like, oh, hi. And then he asks whether I'm the one who was looking for a taxi. He starts just a small conversation. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was me. Thank you, whatever. He's like, oh, so you found it, whatever. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then from there, I'm like, okay, since he started, he initiated a chat, so I might as well just ask him where the bathrooms are. He probably knows the place. So yeah, I asked him that. He directs me. They weren't actually too far from where we were. So then he assists me with that, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. And then he asks about where am I going, and then I tell him, we're having just a small chat going on, going to the northwest or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm also going there. I have four other people in the car or whatever, but I'm not taking a taxi. I'm using my own car, and we'll be leaving in like he says something like in 20 minutes time, you know. And I'm like, oh, why you not, you know, taking me with you guys instead of me having to pay for the taxi? But then again, my mind comes back. I'm like, hey, why am I putting myself in such an awkward situation? Because now, what if he actually agrees to it? And I don't really want that because I've never been to that place before, so it wouldn't be safe for me to travel with people that I don't know. So he actually is like, oh no, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, just give me your number, I'm gonna call you now, whatever, whatever. I give him my number. I was like, whatever. I give him my number, and then he continues with whatever he was going to do, and then I go up stairs to the bathrooms. Cool, everything is good, and 10 minutes doesn't pass, you know, before he calls. And then he calls me just as I remember I was washing my hands in the bathroom as I was gonna go out. So he calls me and he's checking on whether I'm leaving now, where am I, and don't I really want to leave with them. I'm like, no, actually, I think it's safer if I use a taxi because I mean, I don't know you like that. So it's okay, you know, for this time. I'm just gonna use a taxi. It's fine. Thank you. You know, thank you for offering. So it's fine, it's not a problem. He starts asking me about what am I gonna eat on the road and whatever, you know. He wants to give me Mpago vibes. I'm like, nah, whatever, whatever. And then we start, okay. I go to okay now at this point I remember I don't have enough cash on me, so I actually need to go back to the taxi, get my wallet so that I can make a cash, what was this thing, a cash back, and so I can have enough money for the taxi. And then I'm chatting to him the whole time, so I tell him that over the phone because he's busy calling me. I'm telling him all of that. Yeah, I just need to do this and then and then and then I'll just go back to the taxi. He starts off by telling me that he can give me whatever amount I'm short of. But then I don't really entertain that at this point because I'm just like, whatever. So I just go and take my wallet, go to Boxer and get my cash back. And then I remember, oh, when I was going to Boxer, I met him again. And then he went inside Boxer with me. And then he was asking me on, oh no, actually, when was on my way to get the cash back, I met him at Boxer at the entrance. So then he wanted to show me something. So then, okay, sharp, I was following him around to show me whatever. He wanted to show me his shop. So there was a perfume shop there, which he was telling me, okay, this is mine. And then there was another one opposite, which was like those shops that fix phones and laptops and whatever. So he was telling me, okay, these are mine. Jiggy jiggy, okay, shapu. I'm like, oh wow, nice, congrats, or whatever. I'm looking at that. The guy is busy flexing. He's busy showing me like a lot of money, you know, in his wallet. And then at this point, I'm just like, okay. When we go to the perfume shop, we sort of like stand by the door and he starts talking to the woman who was working there, calling her, okay, maybe let me not say her name, calling her, let me just say Amanda. Yeah. So he's like, Amanda, uh, this is her. And then Amanda is just immediately agrees, you know, as if like these were people who had a conversation about me. But like it just at this point to me it's really awkward because he's not saying that I like is not speaking so that I can also understand whatever they are talking about. He's just talking to her about me in my presence, and they are speaking in Tengavali. So at this point, I'm like panicking a little. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. You guys, are you all taking me to Dubai? What's this? I don't want to wake up in a foreign land just because I agreed to talk to you. So then I'm like, okay, no, at this point, I'm like, hey, the taxis are gonna leave me. Let me just quickly go get my money and go. I quickly rush. Boxer is not too far. We're still at the mall. Cool. And then he's following me, telling me, "Hey, you want a perfume? What are you gonna eat in the taxi? Whatever." Like, he's just saying a whole lot of things all at once. And at this point, I feel like, what is going on? Like, relax, dude, relax. But obviously, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus, mind my own business, so that whatever they were thinking or planning to do with me is not going to be possible. I just mind my own business and make sure that, I have my wallet in my hand, and they just don't come near me, like that. So cool. He follows me around. We both get inside Boxer. It's not a problem. And then he's like, "Hey, I should have given you a perfume." I'm like, "Hey, dude, no, I'm late. So if you wanted to do that, you would have like taken it and given it to me that time. This thing of us coming from here, going back there, up and down, it's not happening. If you want to give it to me, you're gonna get it, and then you go bring it here, because this is the last shop I'm gonna enter, and then after this, I'm going straight to the taxes." And then he's like, he laughs a little, and then he moves out. I'm like, whatever. He goes, and then okay, I quickly do my shandis, and then when I exit the Boxer, come in. So as I was saying, as I leave Boxer, I find him waiting for me outside, and he's actually carrying a perfume. And then he hands it over to me, because at this point I'm trying to just rush and run away from all this situation. So he hands it over with a 50 rand note, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks," and then just quickly try to you know go away from all of this. I go to the taxi, and the whole time I'm panicking. I can't really relax until this taxi moves, because he keeps calling me, he keeps checking on me, even on WhatsApp. Cool. Finally, the taxi moves, and then it's only then that I get to relax. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm safe. My wallet is here, my phone is here, everything is fine. Actually, I should, just relax. And then, yeah, we start moving from Pretoria, and we start our journey to the northwest. It was quite a very hot day. Whew. You know what? Halfway, I was already regretting the decision I made to actually go that side, because I was like, "Oh, I miss my room so much, and whatever. Why did I have to put myself through this?" I had no water. I mean, it was just terrible. And then everybody else looked so prepared. I mean, I'm assuming it's people who are used to this whole thingy of traveling back and forth. They have their water with them and everything, and I'm just like, they like, "Oh my god, when are we arriving?" And then eventually we arrive, and my sister was already waiting there for me with the other guys that she works with. So it ends up being a really lovely day, because I mean, of course, I haven't seen her since Jan, when we were all home for holidays. So we have a good time, and then yeah, we really have a great time. So then the guy calls uh, that night, but then he called me around 11 p.m. So I'm just like, no, there's no way I'm answering my phone at around this time. Like, this guy does not even have permission to be calling me around this time. Like, he doesn't know me like that, so it's actually not something he should be doing. But I'm just like, I'm just not gonna pick it up. And then the next morning, he calls me again, and then I tell him that I couldn't talk to you yesterday because I was tired, which I was. But then I wasn't really asleep, but I just hated the fact that he was calling me that late. So then he asked me about how much my trip was, because he wants to pay for my trip back to Pretoria. Okay, cool. I tell him how much it was, and then he's like, okay, no problem. When are you coming back? I'm going to send you the money. Where should I send it? And at this point, I'm just like, on this number, because I don't know what to say, and I'm not prepared to be giving off my bank details, my bank account details, and whatever. I'm just like, nah, on this number. But fortunately enough, it doesn't make a big fuss of it. It's just like, okay, no problem. I'm gonna send it to you. All right. I'm just like, okay, thank you. Yeah, at some point he sends me his pictures, then I just open them on WhatsApp, and I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know how to respond to that, because I'm just like, why? Why would you just meet me and send me pictures? Like, what am I supposed to say? So then I just open, look at them, and I'm just like, I don't respond. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't respond to that. And I think maybe he felt that he was being too forward, which I think he was. Just that I didn't say anything, so he deleted them. I was like, okay, cool, because I only saw that he deleted them when I wanted to show my sister, because obviously I'm telling her every day, hey, this happened, this happened, this happened. This is just all weird or whatever. So when I wanted to show her the pictures, they were no longer there. So I'm like, okay, so he deleted them. Cool stuff. I have no problem with that. But he keeps calling me Shabo. And there's not much that we are really talking about. He will literally just call, ask how am I doing, and then he'll tell me that he's gonna send me money and keep reassuring me about that. I'm like, cool. Of course, I don't believe it at this point. I'm just like, okay, I'll see it when it happens. Yeah. And then I remember I traveled to that side on a Saturday, and I was planning to come back to Pretoria on a Monday. So then I told him that, obviously, okay, no, I'm only coming back on Monday. So oh, he promised to send the money on Sunday, which he didn't. I wasn't even bothered, not even a little bit, because I'm just like, I wasn't expecting him to do it anyways. But then on Monday morning, first thing when I wake up, he calls me, and then he tells me I should check on WhatsApp. He sent me the voucher, and he sent the money. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to connect to the router, because at that point it was not connecting. I don't remember what the problem was. I'm like, okay, I don't have data for now, but I'm definitely gonna check it, and then I'll respond to you on WhatsApp. Cool. We finally connect to the data, or I buy data, I don't remember. And I do see, okay, the guy has sent me like 500 bucks. But I still don't believe it. I see the voucher, there's a pin, but I still don't believe it. I'm like, the only time I'm gonna believe that really the money is actually there is if we go and we cash it out. Cool. But then I do say thank you. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, whatever. Cool. And then obviously I was preparing to leave. I was just packing my stuff and preparing to leave, and then fortunately there was an Absa ATM, because that's what he said, that I would get the money via Absa. So fortunately, in that small town we're in, there was an Absa ATM, so it was very easy for us to get to that. So we took it out at an Absa ATM there, and there was no hassle at all. I mean, really, the pin was working, everything was just fine. We got the money, so I was like, okay, so this is gonna be my taxi fare. Cool, no problem, everything went well. I used that money for the taxi for real, but I was still like shocked. It's who just sends a stranger money like that? But I was also happy, cool, it's my luck, whatever. Okay, fine, no problem. So now he keeps checking on me on how far I am. He wanted us to meet, he wanted to see me. But unfortunately, when I was approaching, as I got closer and closer, because I remember the taxi went to Rustenburg, and then from Rustenburg, I had to catch taxis from there that are going to Pretoria. So then he was telling me he's not in Pretoria, he's in Joburg. I'm like, yes, because really I didn't want to meet him. Like, I was tired. The only thing I wanted to do was to get to my place and rest. That was it. But I hadn't told him that. But then when he said he was not in Pretoria, he was in Johannesburg, and I was like, okay, sharp. Meaning, you understand that we won't meet, at least not today. Cool. I arrived at my place. I was still in disbelief, but happy at the same time. So then the days went by. He would call me and ask if I have had my lunch and whatever. But fast forward, the amount of money that he spent on me was 800 rands, like in cash, the money that he sent to me. And then this one time he sent me a picture of sneakers that he had bought for me. He asked me what size do I wear, do I like jeans or what was the other thing, or tracksuits. I told him I liked jeans, and then he said, okay, we're gonna get that on a Saturday. What else? Oh, he also sent me a picture of a laptop, a whole HP laptop. It was so beautiful, by the way, and he said that was gonna be mine. Actually, he said that was mine. So the only thing that was left was for us to meet on that Saturday and get my stuff. Cool. But then obviously at this point I was like, no, wait, what is happening here? What is this guy? What does he want from me? Because at this point I'm trying to think, okay, he does send me messages to say, hey, I love you, but then I don't respond to them, because I'd be lying if I said I loved him back, because I didn't even know who he was. Like, I don't remember a point where he was telling me his name or anything like that. And also, I think he got my name from WhatsApp. You know how on the settings you write your name and whatever. I have my correct information there. So I think he got my name from there. So we never had those kind of conversations, those basic but necessary conversations. So the whole time I'm like, you love me, but you don't know me. So I wouldn't respond to them. I would just open it and I'm like, I love you, okay. I have nothing to say on that. And until the day we're supposed to meet. And now it keeps checking on where am I and what time do I think I'll be available for us to meet. So I was supposed to go to Pretoria. No, but he didn't know that I don't stay in town. So I had lied to him and said that I stay there because, obviously I didn't want to give him all the information about me before I knew what exactly it was that he was up to or what was going on, or before I could actually trust him or whatever. So then on that day, he keeps asking, so when are we gonna meet or whatever. Unfortunately, I was just too busy with other things. My washing machine was giving me problems, so I took it back to game. I had to check on that. Like, it was just a busy day. I wanted to go to gym. Well, not my weekends, but as a person, I always just try to keep myself busy with something, even if it's sleeping. I mean, I need that. So I never really have free time to accommodate meetups and all of those things. It's just I enjoy being by myself. So then at this point, I'm telling him, okay, so now this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm up to. I keep updating him. I'm going to game. I need these guys to do this for me. And then for some reason, he feels like I'm making up excuses now. I don't want us to meet. So then he asked me, are we going to meet or not? Which I did not take as like, I wasn't welcoming of the tone of that, because I was like, dude, like you sound annoyed or something, and you're not supposed to, because I know I'm not lying. It may sound to him like I am, but at this point I don't like him pushing things to happen the way he wants them to happen. He must also understand that I have a life before him, so he's not just gonna come here and expect me to do whatever he asks as he wants it to be done. He must understand that I also have other things to do, and at least he should respect the fact that I'm updating him on what's happening, and not just be pissed and want to be controlling or whatever, because that's the vibe he was now starting to give me. With the, are you coming or not? Like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. That's when I told him off. I was like, no, you know what? You have to respect me. I, you, I, you have to respect me, dog, because honestly, I don't like how you are now starting to talk to me. Like, you're just forcing, well. And then I start explaining also to him how uncomfortable he was making me feel throughout this, whole talking. I don't even want to call it a talking stage, but this whole thing that has been happening. I just tell him how he's not somebody, he doesn't even talk, so I don't actually feel that I'm not excited to want to meet him. I'm not comfortable, because the only thing he ever talks about is, I have bought you this, I want to buy you this, here's money for lunch, here's money for that. Nothing else. I don't know if he's married. I don't know what's going on in his life. I don't know nothing about him, so it made me really uncomfortable. I still had questions of, why did you introduce me to that woman as, here is she, and that was it? What was going on? What was the conversation before? You understand? So then I made a really long voice note voicing out all my frustrations at this point, because I'm just like, you know what? You need to know exactly what I'm thinking about you. You need to know exactly what's going on with me, that I'm actually uncomfortable and all of that. So I told him everything as I felt. Sent him that long voice note, which he responded to by a voice note which sounded like he was on the road, so it wasn't too clear. I couldn't get everything he was saying, which also annoyed me, because I was just like, anyways, I'm kind of pissed and everything. Then I went to gym just to cool off, and then I remember he called me, I think 3 times, and then I only answered the last call where I was telling him, dude, I'm at gym. Please, I told you I'm at gym. So that was the last time, he attempted calling me, and I thought maybe he was going to, ask for his money back and feel like I have played him, or something like that. But he never did. He kept quiet. We never spoke again since then. I mean, I think it was only today that I noticed that he actually blocked me. Because up until today, I was still trying to understand what was his intentions. Like, what did he want? Like, why does he not want his money back? Why? Everything still doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I'm grateful for the blessings that he had already given me. Yeah, but it left a lot of confusion. I yeah yeah you know But yeah, that's it. That's the story, guys. If you have had a similar experience, you can just kindly share your experience and how it ended up. If maybe, you know, it could have been something, which I highly doubt. Everything was just weird about it. Just comments there and yeah, share your experiences. For me, it's good night.